Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In this post, I want to talk about manifest destiny, the United States of America, our past as well as our present. And in this post, we're going to talk about the numbers 66 and 93 a lot. I just want to show you something if you weren't aware of this. This is the ultimate definition of gluttony right here. Queen Elizabeth owns 6.6 billion acres of land. To put that in perspective, I am a homeowner. My lot is a fifth of an acre. So Queen Elizabeth owns 33 billion times more land than I do. And technically, I don't even really own that land because I pay property taxes on it. It's kind of a false sense of ownership we have here in America as homeowners. Anyway, the reason she owns 6.6 billion acres has everything to do with manifest destiny and the rest of the sickness we're seeing going on in this world. Let's get into the coding and why this number 66 is so important. And also, just with regards to a billion, Truth Seeker, yours truly just turned a billion seconds old at the end of March, so a little more than a month ago. I'm just a little bit older than a billion seconds. You know, if I'd earned an acre for every second of my life, I would still be 5.6 billion acres behind Queen Elizabeth. Think about how insane that is. Okay, moving on. United States of America in Jewish gematria sums to 929. So does manifest destiny. Curious, right? But that's not the end of it. Manifest destiny with Pythagorean gematria sums to 33 with the S exception, each word 42. So manifest destiny 66 or with S exceptions 84. Two very important numbers to this nation. United States of America with Pythagorean gematria sums to 84. If you do the S exception on the capital S at the beginning of states, it sums to 93. The number of Thelema, the number of do what thou wilt. Think about manifest destiny, this excuse used to cause a genocide of the native people, and do what thou wilt. What is more do what thou wilt than a genocide of millions through chemical warfare, murder, gunshot, you name it? The year this country was established was 1776. That's a year with 93 numerology. The number of Thelema, the number of do what thou wilt. Think of the number 93 as the number of do what thou wilt, and 66 as the number of manifest destiny. In New York, the 11th state, they've recently rebuilt the World Trade Center, and they've named it One World Trade Center, which has a Pythagorean gematria of 93. Its alternate name is Freedom Tower, which sums to 66. In simple English gematria, freedom equals 66. And in history, it's Thomas Jefferson who supposedly wrote the Declaration of Independence giving us our freedom. His name with Pythagorean gematria sums to 66. Thomas is 22, Jefferson 44. And if you use S exceptions with his name, it also changes to 84. This 66-84 combination. Notice that the One World Trade Center Freedom Tower is 1,776 feet tall, like our year of establishment, the number with 93 numerology, like the name gematria. When they give us this definition of manifest destiny, you have to ask, who are they kidding? Manifest destiny is a term for the attitude prevalent during the 19th century period of American expansion that the United States not only could, but was destined to stretch from coast to coast. The attitude helped fuel Western settlement, Native American removal. Ha! What a nice phrasing, Wikipedia. Native American removal. How about scratch this out? Genocide and war with Mexico. Here's a little fast fact, Truth Seeker. The word Mexico and the word Mexican both have gematria of 33. The Mexican-American War ended February 2nd, the 33rd day of the year. And so many wars in the time of all this madness have been coded with this same numerology. From the Civil War to the Opium War. 33, 33, 33. You know, when when the Iraq War began, I was a very vocal opponent, so upset that my nation, with all of its problems, would focus on bombing a poor nation across the world. And almost everybody I talked to didn't seem to care one little bit. This is manifest destiny. This attitude of arrogance that the United States can do whatever it wants, kill whoever it wants. Manifest destiny didn't die in the 19th century. It's right with us. Just like this Thelema, do what thou wilt. In this nation, the first highway built across it was Route 66, running from about Chicago to Los Angeles. Route 66 has a Pythagorean gematria of 66, with S exceptions, 84. What do you know? Think about what the automobile's done for us. It's made us mad. The first Bible ever published was the Gutenberg Bible of 66 books. Gutenberg Bible has a gematria of 66. And if you take the time to look it up, it's credited with a 322 March 22nd publishing date. Flip that around, it can also be written as 22-3. The word Masonic equals 223 in Jewish gematria. The phrase, the synagogue of Satan, sums to 223. In Revelation, the final book of the Bible, it said the synagogue of Satan will rule in the end times. If you take the first 13 colonies, Truth Seeker, the first 13, you get their gematria for each. For example, Delaware sums to 33. And then you get the numerology of each of those. So you reduce it to a single digit. You reduce all 13 colonies to a single digit. And add them. It adds up to 66, the number of manifest destiny. With regards to Rhode Island, it has a very special coding in its name. If you write out Rhode Island, get the calculation, it sums to 311. The acronym USA also creates the 311 sequence. Think about Rhode Island, the 13th colony. It projected what the USA would become. U is the 21st letter, 2 plus 1 is 3. S is the 19th, 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. And A is the first. That is how USA becomes 311. Notice that the beast sums to 311, and you have to ask yourself, who would possess people to do what has been done in the name of manifest destiny, Thelema, and whatever other sickness is going on behind the scenes? It's interesting also that God of Earth sums to 311. Who truly is the God of this earth? If you write out the word 33, it sums to 66. In the Bible, the first book is Genesis, which has a gematria of 33. Numbers are very much connected. Delaware, the first state, has a gematria of 33. So does the ninth state. Excuse me. Of the first 13 colonies, only 3 have 33 establishment dates. 33 dates. A lot of threes. Delaware the first, New Hampshire the 9th, and Rhode Island the 13th and final. Of the 50 states, only 3 have 33 names. The first, Delaware, the 6th, Massachusetts, and the 50th and final, Hawaii. Only 3 have 33 names. With regards to the theme of this whole do what thou wilt, think about what empire is. Empire. We are an empire. In this country, New York, the 11th state, is known as the Empire State. If you sum 1 through 11, it sums to 66. In the Bible, there's 39 books in the Old Testament, 27 in the New Testament. New York with Pythagorean gematria sums to 39. The abbreviation NY sums to 39 with simple English gematria. The word empire sums to 39 in Pythagorean. It sums to 66 with simple English. Remember, New York has this 66-39 connection. The date of establishment, July 26, 1788, has a numerology of 39. The United Nations in New York is 39 floors tall. On the Declaration of Independence, there were 39 signers. 39 originals became our Bill of Rights. They were proposed by James Madison, a name with 39 gematria, on June 8th, 1789, a date with 39 numerology. Again, 39 books in the Old Testament, 66 books in the Bible. The New York Times, the most published paper in the nation, has a gematria of 93, the flip of 39. One World Trade Center sums to 93. Think about the original World Trade Center, 93 World Trade Center bombing. Flight 93 of 33 passengers. Flight 11, the first plane to crash into the Twin Towers, crashed into floors 93 through 99. Look it up if you don't believe me. This coding is the coding of Thelema, do what thou wilt, which further traces to Saturn worship. Saturn sums to 93. In this nation, one of the biggest companies is Nike, which has a gematria of 39. They use the swoosh, which is one of Saturn's rings. Nike's located in Oregon, the 33rd state. Often you find this 93-33 combination, like flight 93 of 33 passengers. This is the coding of our nation's arrogance, truth seeker. This is the coding of manifest destiny. This is the math behind the madness. If you take the time to read this article, you will find that Robert Turner III is the 15th largest landowner in the world. He only has 2 million acres. Hardly anything compared to the Queen. But what's interesting about Robert Turner III is he runs the biggest propaganda peace news network in this nation. And CNN truly is worse than the other networks because they create their own news. For example, CNN is who broke the story that planes flew into the World Trade Center buildings. CNN might as well be the CIA. They probably are. With regards to this guy, Ted Turner, his real name is Robert Turner III. The name Robert has gematria of 33. The name Turner has gematria of 33. Robert Turner equals 66. His birthday is November 19th, 1938, a date with 33 numerology. The coding is relentless. We can see who their agents are by studying these numbers. For those of you who watch my posts and then ask me what the point of this information is, it dumbfounds me. To me, the point seems obvious. It lets you see the truth behind what you're being presented. In a world where you're constantly fed lies, you need a way, a tool to see through the lies. A way to see who the agents of these lies are. This skill shows you that. It reveals much truth. Truth hidden from us by madmen who created concepts such as manifest destiny, places such as the United States of America, a real hell on earth. Is it coming into focus, truth seeker? I hope you learned something with this post. If you guys ever want to visit my blog, it's free to find truth.blogspot.com. Once you get there, a good thing to do is go to the top left and just type in a topic and see what I got. You want to know something about the Kennedys? Type in Kennedy. You'll have more posts than you know what to do with. This family is all about manifest destiny. Oh, brother. Robert Kennedy equals 66. He was assassinated by Saturn, which equals 66 on June 6th. All right. I could go on all night. We'll just cut it off right there. Until next.